Okay, so here's a question that could be answered pretty quickly, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Whatever happened to physical media? The short answer is progression of technology and the internet, but I want to dive further into this because I feel that physical media still has a place, if not as a collectible fad, almost like the resurgence of LP records, of which I myself am a collector of. I mean, you can't beat that vintage LP sound. What is old is new and all that jazz. Anyway, physical media in terms of DVDs and Blu-rays and VHS for those born before 1995 is solely what I want to discuss. But I guess you can include music and computer games within that debate. Since the early 2010s, owning physical media has started to become pointless due to the rise of streaming services such as Netflix. I once lived with a friend who got rid of all of his DVDs because he said, why keep them when you can simply stream the films and shows directly to your telly and not have to worry about where to store the physical copies, as well as keeping discs scratch-free and in good condition. It almost seemed like getting rid of the physical media was a fad in and on its own. It was uncool to own a physical copy of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, he cleared it!
And this online convenience was an attractive one at first because it also meant that I could watch films and TV shows that I didn't actually own on disc. What a world we were living in, eh? But with physical media becoming obsolete, but so were the outlets that not only sold them, but you rented them from. It felt like overnight the local video shops were closing down in their droves, with one of the biggest in the world falling foul of streaming being Blockbuster Video. Even computer games can be bought or streamed online and downloaded directly to your console or PC. Everything is becoming cloud-based. I mean, there are positives with that, as I mentioned before. Less clutter in your homes, and you can spend £10 to £12 on a monthly subscription and watch multiple films and programmes for the cost of buying a new movie release on Blu-ray. But with progress comes capitalism. Everyone and their dog is getting in on the streaming fad, almost culminating in a streaming war. From what I can remember, Netflix was one of the first ones, who started out as an online mail-order DVD rental store and became one of, if not the biggest streaming platform, to the point that most new TVs have a dedicated Netflix button on the remote for instant access. But I did say one of. Amazon Prime, Disney+, Now TV, Paramount+, even YouTube are all vying for your attention and monthly subscription, to the point where you can shell out much more on multiple streaming platforms than you would if you bought a few new Blu-rays per month. I do think there is oversaturation of the market. But that isn't the only problem. Not every film or TV show is available to stream anywhere and aren't available to buy as physical media unless you hunt through eBay and pay a premium, with some lost to the sands of time. By all means, correct me if I'm wrong here, but to my knowledge, I cannot find films like Kevin Smith's Dogma, Ron Howard's Cocoon, and Spice World. Actually, not being able to stream Spice World has got to be one of the best things to happen to cinema since the projector. Even The Basketball Diaries is not available to stream anywhere. And there are certain restrictions that require VPNs so that I can stream a film on Netflix that isn't available in the UK, but is available in the US. But that requires another subscription. Until recently, you couldn't stream 28 days later, nor was it released on Blu-ray or 4K. Sean found his DVD copy in his garage and thought that he'd won the lottery until they announced 28 years later, then they released 28 days later onto streaming. Sean thought that he had a rare specimen on his hands. The point is that unless you already own a copy of a DVD or Blu-ray, there was no other way to watch a specific film that is no longer available, which is really quite sad. So much amazing content is being lost, with future generations not being able to experience certain films. It's almost like throwing away a piece of art, like the Mona Lisa, just because it's old. The other thing that we lose with streaming is the special features. The extra discs being full to the brim with documentaries, commentaries, alternate versions and deleted scenes, all being cast aside because the standard theatrical cut is the only available version you can stream. I mean, I love the extra content, watching making of documentaries and listening to commentaries, because you learn so much more about the hard work that went into making the film. You get a deep dive into the art. I still buy Blu-rays. I love the fact that I can have a collection. Yeah, it's smaller than it used to be, but owning the physical copy of a box set like the Alien Quadrilogy, which is packed with so many special features, is worth spending more on than the $10.99 per month on Netflix, which increases to $12.99 in April. You robbing bastard. And I find myself trawling through endless lists of films and shows that I'm simply not interested in because the user interface is rubbish, which makes me question my life choices. Why not just go to HMV and buy a load of Blu-rays instead? Plus, I used to think that Blu-ray was the weirdo selling dodgy films of the adult variety. Anyway, for me, physical media is still important. You never know if the content that you want to re-watch in the future, or old content that you've never seen before, will be available to stream. Plus, the price increases creates a choice of which service you want to subscribe to due to not being able to afford them all, or content not being available in your country and having to fork out more for the use of a VPN. I am of a certain age, and I miss the days of going to the video shop and choosing a film to watch or computer game to play for the weekend. It used to feel like a bit of an event going to the video shop, similar to when we went to the cinema. But now I'm having to swipe through craply made for streaming films starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson before I might find a film that I want to watch. And yeah, there are benefits of streaming for sure, such as the convenience, but for me, you can't beat having a collection of physical media. But what are your thoughts? Do you miss going to the video shop, or buying physical VHS, DVD or Blu-ray, or even know what any of that is? Or am I just an old man and need to embrace the 21st century? By all means, let me know in the comments. And a massive thanks for watching this video. I've been Colm from the Critical Cinema Club, and I'll see you in the next one.